That's good timing.
Calling out Lookers, Cooper, Littybag, Markinch, Kirkcaldy, Kinghorn, Words Island, Aberdeen, Dalgety, Inverkeithing, Edinburgh Gateway, Haymarket and Edinburgh. This train is formed of 3 carriages.
Well, there we go. Right, I think she's finished now. So we're heading up to Aberdeen. We're on Dundee railway station. It's a bright, slightly chilly morning, about 10 to 10.
Yep.
And we're going up to Aberdeen because it's 50 years, almost exactly. It's July 1974 that I first went there on that big trip around Scotland with my mum and dad and my Gran. And so we're going back 50 years later, and we're going to try and see
some of the places that you saw when you were a little laddie.
Yeah, when I was a little wee lad, a little wee boy. So we're going to try and do some exploring, see what we find.
Indeed.
So that's the train. There we go.
This train is formed of 4 carriages.
There we go. We'll get ourselves ready.
Indeed.
So that's all the port of Dundee. They're turbines, aren't they?
Bits of wind turbine.
Wind turbine, yeah. And they're getting ready to float, they take them out to sea.
Yeah.
We'll prepare them there and take them out to sea.
You can see the other way, but you might be able to see it. Butty Ferry, I think it does have a castle that you can see. Well, it's either a castle or just a fortification at the entrance to the estuary, I suppose. Sit.
Good boy. Made it to Aberdeen nicely on time. Heading past the harbour and the docks area, the ferry terminal. I'm not sure where they go, whether they go across to Norway or whether it's certainly Shetland and so on. And you want to find the beach, don't you? We want the beach. We're going to the beach. On our way to the beach. So we're finally approaching the seafront at Aberdeen. That's the fun fair. Is it called Cadona's? Cadona's? Been there a long, long time, and I could just about remember that from 50 years ago, sort of going inside, and I was just commenting that I don't particularly remember the things outside, the rides and things outside, but I remember lots of things being inside. So we'll perhaps go and explore that in a moment or two.
The swimming pool's over there.
Yeah, and there's more things. Yeah, so there's a ballroom over there, isn't there? And another inside, well, some other buildings. Well, I can just about see they're disappearing now. The floodlights for the Pitodry, the football ground, Aberdeen's football ground.
But you said that girl said that the swimming pool was still here, and that's the water slide.
So that's the swimming pool. Yeah,
Doesn't it?
yeah. So you think that's quite old? It looks quite old. Yeah.
She said it was.
Yeah.
The swimming pool was still there, and it was that old.
So that building over there is the beach ballroom. And that's presumably been there quite some time, but I don't remember that. But I certainly remember the beach, and I remember the amusements. And the beach, we think, is up here somewhere.
And you remember the swimming pool, don't you? We can wander down and have a look at it.
Well, the swimming pool I went in was a big indoor pool, quite new, quite modern. I don't think that was it, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I did go in the swimming pool with my dad. Yeah. just wandering along the beach, and I'm trying to find the spot where I can recreate the photo with me aged 11 and my mum and gran, which was on the beach along here somewhere, and I'm just trying to work out where I might go to recreate that if I possibly can. Of course, it was definitely the beach here, but at Aberdeen, but it might not be quite along this bit. It might be a different bit. So we'll try it. We'll give it a go, and then that'll have to do. But the sea's quite impressive today. It's making a good noise. Dogs are enjoying themselves with their sticks. And I suppose coming down to the beach, we must have got somewhere near where we could park, and then for my gran to come down some steps fairly easily. So it could be along here where these steps are, or it might be somewhere where there's a bit easier access. I don't know. It might be somewhere round about here. We'll try that anyway. And it was great to spend time on the beach in the sea playing, and my dad took the photo, me and my mum and gran sitting here enjoying the sunshine, and it was beautiful July weather, and I suspect we just had our lunch. That's what was in the bag, or the remains of it was in the bag, and we just had our lunch. So it was somewhere along here, but it's lovely. I remember these the granite walls of the promenade and the beautiful sandy beach, and it's completely, well, as far as I remember, completely unchanged, which is tremendous, really. Oh, somebody's crashed. Somebody's crashed. So it's a bit different when I came here 50 years ago, but a little bit different. It's the same place, Cadonas, or the amusement park. It's the same place, but rejuvenated, modernised, changed. It's the big wheel. You don't fancy the big wheel? It's a good big wheel, isn't it? It's a bit scary. But yeah, the most exciting thing I remember going on was the big inflatable inside here and bouncing up and down. I think it's called Lunar Land. But somebody's crashed, so they'll get them going. They'll get them going again in a minute. Slightly embarrassing. Yeah, they've obviously got something so they can pause everybody if they need to. Here they go. Here they go. Oh well, this is what you can do in Aberdeen for your leisure time. There's a few more people coming around now. But it's quite a good circuit if you get to go up the top there. Yeah. You go up the top there in a few spirals and back down again. Mercat Square, and for a moment or two there was a bit of sunshine. It's fairly quiet here. So we've got the Sally Army, the Carlton pub, we've got an evil looking herring gull, we've got a man in a kilt, and straight ahead beyond the market cross is Union Street, which is the big shopping street, if I remember correctly. That's where all the big shops are, and we're going to have a wander down there to see if we can find these Union Terrace Gardens. Indeed. Which is somewhere we spent a lunchtime or an afternoon at 50 years ago, and I'll try and find the spot where we took the photograph. Yeah. So it's a good Scottish architecture. Yeah. Oh, yep. There we go. So I've not quite found yet the big department store that we went in, but that might have long gone. Union Street is still a big shopping street, but like so many places, it's full of now smaller shops and charity shops and so on. I don't remember the statue here, which I guess is Edward the Seventh. We'll have a look at Edward the Seventh, shall we? Yeah. Yeah. There we go, it's Edward the Seventh. As far as I recall, this is very, very different. This walkway is new. I think you just went down some steps into the gardens. And I can't remember what those buildings opposite are. We looked them up, didn't we? Those
Yes.
quite grand buildings opposite. But Aberdeen is full of these very grey buildings because of the local granite, and it's called the Granite City, isn't it? For obvious reasons.
I think that one's the theatre because it says Her Majesty's.
Oh, it's the theatre, is it?
Majesty's, so I think
Yeah.
it's the theatre.
Yeah. So looking down into the space below, again, it's kind of been reconstructed, and on the right hand side in my photo there was I know, like a stage that could be used all year round, but there was an open air stage, and somewhere down here towards where the railway lines are, there were children's trampolines that you could go on. You paid 10 pence or whatever, and on you went for 20 minutes trampolining. Little trampolines you had to go at. So the railway line comes out of the main station and goes north, and that's whether it's still in use.
There's a slide there.
There's a big slide which, obviously, if you're here on your hen party, you can go on the big slide. So they've replaced children's trampolines with slides for women on their hen parties. And the flowers are all still going, aren't they? All the daffodils. You commented on the way up that because we're so far north, the daffodils, the spring flowers, are still in their prime. Yeah. No idea where you get to if you go north from here, whether you can get a train to Inverness or something, going round sort of quite a rural route or a coastal route, I don't know.
No, you can't. There's no trains north of here.
There are no trains north of here,
No,
even though we've just seen one.
it's not going north.
So this space is where the open air stage was, and seated area, and the floral design up here is partly still there and partly overgrown. That said Bon Accord on it, which I think is the motto for Aberdeen, but that sort of disappeared, and it's all sort of tufty grass, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the figure up there, I describe in my diary as Robert the Bruce, but it's actually William Wallace, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it's William Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it says in my description map that it's William Wallace.
It's William Wallace.
It's William Wallace.
It's William Wallace. My dad took a photo of that statue, and I think I described him in my diary of the trip as Robert the Bruce, so I can correct that now. It's not Robert the Bruce, it's William Wallace. Described there as Guardian of Scotland. So that's an image, not the Mel Gibson version, but that's some other version. And we're looking back across the gardens, these little gardens. And we think it's time for a late lunch.
I do indeed.
And you've got your eye on you spotted a pub back the way, so we might well try that. So
Absolutely.
it might even be a JD Weatherspoon.
It might even be.
That's terrible. Some more of this fantastic grey Gothic architecture, and this is Marischal College. And we think part of this is the council buildings, but we might be wrong. City council and police buildings, so yeah. We'll see who this character is over here on the horse. Some of those evil gulls again. So this is Robert the Bruce. So the other one was William Wallace. Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, 1306, 1329. The great thing is about Aberdeen, they can afford to put their fountains on, which they've not been able to do in Peterborough for 3 years. They were installed in Peterborough on Cathedral Square at great expense, and then they've worked out they can't possibly afford to actually switch them on and run them. But they're up and running here, as they are in most cities in Europe, but not in my own city. So enjoy this while you can.
Absolutely.
Enjoy this while you can.
A bit too cold.
A bit too cold for a paddle, yeah, I agree with that, but at least they're up and running, which is rather good, rather good. Yeah. Getting ready to get on our train at Aberdeen, and it's good to see the old HST 125s, the Flying Bananas, getting a fresh lease of life up in Scotland. So they're working on these services on the non-electrified tracks up here. That's good. I don't think we'll be going at 125 miles an hour, but we'll go at a decent pace, I should think. And look, the sun's come out now. Look, now we're leaving, the sun's come out.